Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and tonight I'm going to be bringing you part 30 of my horror movie collection. So that being said, I was really hoping, now I do these movies in alphabetical order. I've got everything alphabetized. So when I got to part 30, I'm thinking this is a pretty big number, okay? I mean, I did a part 10, a part 20, I'm on a part 30, and there may possibly be a part 60 for this. I don't know. And I'm sure some of you are sitting in going, oh no, not 60 of these. Oh, good God, no, I can't stand it. Insanity ensues. But yes, there might be, okay? So we're gonna get through that. It's okay. It's all right. We'll get through this, okay? Anyway, I was really hoping that the choice of films I got for part 30 would be pretty monumental. Like I'd have some classics here. And that's really not the case, okay? Some of these films are good. One of them is really bad, okay? And then you got in between, all right? So that being said, I've got 14 films here. Now, some of them are part of a franchise. Two of them are the original and remake, and they came at the end of the thing, and I just wanted to go ahead and put them together so I wouldn't have to have the remake in the next video. So that being said, let's go ahead and get underway, okay? So first up, we have The Others. And this, of course, stars Nicole Kidman. All right. And this was directed by Alejandro. I'm going to see if I can pronounce this right. Alejandro Amenabar, I believe is the pronunciation of his name. Anyway, it stars Nicole Kidman. And it's about this woman who moves into this house with her kids. I believe she's got two kids. It's been a while since I saw this. And she's waiting on her husband to come back from the war. And all of a sudden, these kind of spooky things start happening in the house. And spoiler alert, but this does kind of have like a Sixth Sense type of ending to it. Okay, it's not what you expect. This is a period piece. It's kind of a slow burn, but it's also a very well done ghost story or haunted house story. So I do highly recommend this. If you like that kind of story. So The Others with Nicole Kidman. All right. Okay, next up. Now comes the stinker. And I'm talking about P2. A New Level of Terror. What this movie should have been titled was PU, A New Level of Shit. Okay? And see, when I said shit like that, I was trying to do the beepy voice, and you can't beep yourself out. You cannot censor yourself. So anyway, it should be called PU, A New Level of Shit, okay? I don't even know, can't even remember what this movie is about. I think it's about this girl that is stalked by this security guard in this parking section or parking garage. And of course, she has to figure a way to get away from him. And of course, he's always outsmarting her, and then she outsmarts him, and so on and so forth. And it's crap, okay? It's just pure, absolute crap. Who is in this thing? Wes Bentley, the guy that played the guy in American Beauty that thought a paper bag floating up in the air was the most beautiful thing in the world. Whatever. Anyway, all right, yeah. So, and Rachel Nichols, she's actually pretty good. So, I mean, yeah, but this was garbage. And the thing is, it's directed by Frank Calhoun, and he did a damn good job directing the remake of Maniac. That was actually a pretty good remake, but this, no. Bad movie. Bad movie. Anyway, all right, next up, we got Pandora. And I always get this movie mixed up with Event Horizon. I don't know why. I don't even know if I've watched this movie. I think I did, and I don't know if I liked it or not. Anybody? I saw Event Horizon. That's weird. That's really cosmic, Lovecraftian horror, But this, I don't even remember what this is about. Let's see what we got here. It's pitch black on an abandoned ship 500 miles from Earth. For crew members Corporal Bauer, played by Ben Foster, and Lieutenant Peyton, played by Dennis Quaid, an unflinching vision of terror is about to be unleashed. From the creators of the Resident Evil films comes a horrifying descent into madness for a pair of astronauts who wake up in a hypersleep chamber, disoriented, with no memory of how they got there. With an unspeakable horror lurking around every corner, the astronauts uncover the terrifying reality that the survival of mankind hinges on their actions. Fear what happens next. This is directed, who is the director of this? Christian Albert. Never heard of him. And I guess the reason they say that it has something to do with from the Resident Evil films. I wonder if Paul W.S. Anderson, the screenplay is produced by Paul W.S. Anderson, who of course directed the Resident Evil movies. And those I can take or leave those. I mean, I like them for what they are, okay? I don't even remember this movie, all right? So anyway, Pandora. All right, so next up, I'm going to do this whole thing as a franchise. I actually like these movies. I do. A lot of people don't because it's found footage, but I actually like the Paranormal Activity films, okay? I've got them all right? I love Paranormal Activity, and if you do have this movie and you watch the credits and we do that whole thing with the thank you where it's rolling real fast, if you slow it down, you'll find my name in there somewhere because I signed the petition to get the movie to come show in theaters here in Bakersfield. And then I went to see the movie, and I loved it, okay? You know what the movie's about, okay? It's about a girl named Katie that is haunted by this entity, and weird stuff ensues, all right? So, yeah. So you got Paranormal Activity. I like that one. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. Paranormal Activity 2, 4 stars, all right? Activity 3 was actually one of the best ones. I give it a 4.5, okay? Number 4 gets a lot of hate. It does. I liked it. 3.5, all right? 3.5. The Ghost Dimension is the last one. Or is it? Yeah. And this is okay. 2.5, maybe 3 stars, all right? All right. And then there's a offshoot, the Marked Ones. And this was pretty good. I kind of liked it. So I give it 4 stars. So that's it. That is it. The Paranormal Activity franchise collection, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, just did the all as big one lump thing. And it's really funny because used to be a thing where I think the first 3 films, they re-edited them and did it in chronological order. But the thing is, it doesn't really work because, it doesn't really work because they talk about things in the first film or in the third film, like the first one that I believe should be Paranormal Activity 3, and then I believe 2 and then 1, I think, but it just didn't really work. All right, so yeah. Anyway, all right. Next up, I've got a TV show, and the TV show I've got is, let me get it all done here, get in the right order. I was really surprised by this. When I started watching this, I'm like, this is awesome. I loved it. I'm talking about Penny Dreadful. You know, and I've got all 3 seasons. I really wish this would have lasted longer. And yes, I know they did a spinoff, like, was it Penny Dreadful, Los Muertos or something like that? I can't remember. But I just didn't have any interest in it, and it must not have been that good. It didn't last very long at all. Anyway, it's the first season. And Eva Green, oh my God, she is fantastic in this role in this show. Absolutely awesome. If you don't know what Penny Dreadful is pretty much a period piece that brings together the characters not only from Frankenstein, but also from like Dracula, the Wolfman. Let's see what else you got in this thing. Dorian Gray. And they bring them all into the same universe. Even Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, there's a little bit with that too. And it's just really awesome. If you haven't watched this show, by all means, check it out. Anyway, it stars Eva Green, Josh Hartnett. Who else is in this thing? Timothy Dalton. Who else we got here? Some of these guys I'd never heard of before. Harry Treadaway, Billy Piper. She's really good in this. Just really good. Patty Lupone. Yeah, so, yeah, just check this out if you get a chance, all right? Yeah, anyway, Penny Dreadful. All right, so next up, I've got the original and the remake of Stephen King's Pet Sematary. And, of course, this is a classic. You got to love this movie. It's just fantastic. And if you're not scared to death by Zelda, then I don't know if you got a pulse, man, because she scared the living daylights out of me when I saw this movie. You know, I mean, she was the scariest part of the original Pet Sematary. I mean, just freaky deaky stuff, okay? And anyway, if you're not sure what Pet Sematary is about, it's basically about this guy, a doctor, and his wife and their kids, and they moved to this house in Maine, and then the cat gets hit by a car, and then they bury the cat in the pet cemetery, and it's like this magical, mystical burial ground, and the cat comes back, okay? But he's just not quite the same, okay? But then they decide to do the same thing whenever the kid gets hit by a truck, and the dad is grieving, and he decides to do the same thing, and it does not have very good results. If you read the book, man, whenever the kid comes back was just, oh my gosh, was nuts. All right, but also it's pretty wild when the kid comes back in this too. So yeah, first that's the original, and then I got the remake. Okay, and the one thing I'm going to say about the remake is that this movie, I've noticed it gets a lot of hate. I know a lot of people hate this movie, but you know what? I kind of liked it. And I think a lot of people hated it because they wanted pretty much the same thing with the original movie, and they kind of changed things up a little bit, and I don't think people were happy about that. It didn't bother me, okay? It didn't bother me one bit, all right? I thought it was good, okay? Is it as good as the original? Well, no. But it's still a good movie, you know, and I enjoyed it. So there you have it. Pet Sematary, the remake. All right. All right, so that's going to do it. That is my part 30 for my horror movie collection. And I thank you guys for watching. And I've been doing these things once a month. I try not to just completely saturate my my post and stuff with this kind of thing. And so I do this on my music thing once a month. And that being said, the weekend is upon us. You guys have a great weekend. If you got to work, stay safe. If you got to stay home, stay safe. And have a great weekend. Good night.